Gooding-Edghill, Minister of Tourism and International Transport, Barbados.
Minister, thank you for giving up some time for breaking travel news. Here we are at WTTC in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I understand you've been busy.
Yes, we've certainly been busy. The delegation that joined us here at WTTC, we have on this occasion signed off an air services agreement with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. That air services agreement will allow us to expand our aviation footprint globally. It's also an opportunity for us to gain and gather further information and collaborate. But more importantly, an air services agreement creates opportunities for an island like Barbados to start exploring how best to do business in terms of flights out of this jurisdiction. Of course, it will take some time to develop, as you are well aware, but we are confident that over time we'll be able to utilize the air services agreement for the mutual benefit of both the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the government of Barbados.
Well, I have to say congratulations.
Thank
That is a major announcement and achievement.
Yes.
And connectivity is so critical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very critical, and that's one of the talking points, certainly from this summit. Connectivity is really the heart and the soul of the travel and trade industry. If we don't have connectivity, people can't move from island to island, can't move from country to country, state to state. And that's what makes, especially now here at the Global Summit, that subject matter so very vital and important. And taking into consideration what's happening in aviation is even more critical. So I do agree that it's a path that we have to go. It's also, like I said earlier, it's an opportunity for us to continue to expand our aviation footprint globally.
And tell me a little bit about what else you've been up to.
Yeah, we also, whilst we were here, we were able to sign off with the Minister of Tourism an agreement, memorandum of understanding that would allow for both countries to exchange information. It also allows both countries to share the benefits. Barbados had been a tourism destination for more than 60 years. Obviously, so the Kingdom is developing theirs as we learned over the course of this summit. But we have an opportunity as well to have cultural exchanges, opportunity for culinary exchanges, and other opportunities in terms of hospitality and how we can build out hospitality not only in Barbados, but how best we can assist the Kingdom with building out their hospitality product. Of course, there are issues in relation to how best we can work together in terms of the diversity, in respect of the product, in respect of the culture. And those are some of the talking points that we discussed leading up to the MOU. So I think the MOU is a great opportunity for the government, people of Barbados and Kingdom to work together as we continue to explore areas of mutual interest and benefit within the hospitality sector.
And I think you've in a sense, you've already answered my next question because you've demonstrated the value of events and summits like this. Yes. But I suppose it's sort of expanding that out to being more of a world working together kind of perspective. Tell me about some of the other kind of key achievements and momentum that we've built here in Riyadh as a global tourism and travel sector.
Sure. What was interesting coming out of this summit is that, one, we heard that tourism is back. And it's coming back in the most fundamental way, where after the COVID pandemic, where a lot of people couldn't travel, there's, as I refer to, pent-up demand. And what I'm hearing here at the Global Summit is that the global market is still, for travel and trade, still hugely beneficial. And leveraging the experiences of those who presented during the course of the 3 days summit is an opportunity for all of us to learn, and certainly listening to the people in hospitality sector, the environmentalists, and other persons shape that perspective. And I think as we continue to listen to the global players, it will give us an opportunity to see how best we can build out. Now, Barbados is a mature destination, relies on sectors, luxury, semi-luxury, budget. We do that, including Airbnb and a villa market. And listening to what the speakers had to say today, but also help us to influence our position in terms of a policy perspective. Because you don't live in the world alone. You have to listen to perspectives, you have to shape policy, and the benefit or the beautiful thing about us is that we can listen, we adapt our policies to suit, and then we go forth. And obviously, as we seek to rebuild our tourism arrivals, listening is always key because we can then adapt policies and our marketing campaigns to reflect what is currently in demand in the market space.
You've obviously maximised the potential by the agreements that you've signed here. From a Barbados perspective, here we are in Saudi Arabia, an emerging destination, and the next summit's going to be in Rwanda. Tell me a little bit about kind of the shift that we're making in these sort of emerging destinations. And
yeah, well, for sure, and that's something we'll be discussing as well. We have relied traditionally on some very good markets, source markets. Those markets have been very good to Barbados over the years. I talk about, for example, the UK, the United States, Canada, Europe, and the Caribbean. But there's also another market over there where we are today.
Yeah.
And in this part of the region, there are huge opportunities and benefits that we see. And that's why we're here as well, to understand how best we can tap into those opportunities and how best we can improve our arrival numbers and how best we can build out this side of the market as a new and emerging market. It will obviously take time. But again, the benefit of coming here is that we have an opportunity to interact with several players. We had several meetings with those who are in the travel and trade business who are located here and within this region. Those meetings went very well. We remain confident and optimistic about the future, and we will continue to do what we do best. We build relationships and we maintain relationships. And that is why, as I said, we've been so successful in the UK, the US, Canadian, and Caribbean market. So we will gather all the data, all the intelligence that we picked up here, continue to revise our policy positions, and seek those new and emerging markets and see how best we can do it. Now, the Air Services Agreement and the MOU also give us an opportunity to put all those things into one basket and to really dovetail it nicely so that we can continually build out this new and emerging market.
last question, I think, really, as you mentioned, Barbados, a mature market. You are, in a sense, the real pioneers in many ways and visionaries of old, but you're continually evolving as well. And what do you think Barbados brings to the global table?
Well, it brings Caribbean warmth.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that whenever you ask a person who's visited Barbados, what was the takeaway? They will tell you it's people, how warm and friendly they are. And that is iconic about Barbados. The other thing about Barbados, it's the food and beverage offerings that we have. As I've been advised, we have more than 400 culinary offerings on the island, restaurants, ranging from street food to high-end restaurants. We've been good at reinventing some of our restaurants. We've been good at reinventing and adding new attractions to Barbados. We also have in Barbados that niche market, that opportunity where we have been able to develop new initiatives. For example, we launched during the COVID pandemic the Welcome Stand. That has added additional visitors to Barbados. There are people who have never visited Barbados from all over the world who came to Barbados on the Welcome Stand, fell in love with Barbados, and then they will go back home, and then they will come back again, and or they will sell Barbados to their peers, and then their family and other persons. So I think the unique thing about Barbados, like I said, is that warm and friendly spirit. About the island, it's naturally beautiful. We have the picturesque east coast of Barbados coming all the way through. We have our traditional, what we call our community events that we encourage those who come to Barbados to visit. Of course, we have a tropical environment, and you can ask for anything better than that. But we also have wonderful beaches, and those beaches, as you know, play a significant part in the development of our tourism. So there's a lot of stuff that we have. We are going to continue to build out our infrastructure to continue to support our tourism investments, and that is what we're doing. And once those things continue, I think we'll be well positioned. And one thing I will say is that we recently had our Food and Rum Festival in Barbados. And if there's one thing I will, a message I have to send out there, is to encourage people to come to Barbados. It was a wonderful food and rum festival last October. We are going to have it again next year. And part of our background and marketing and preparation for that is that as we go into our source markets and new and emerging markets, we want to tell people about our food and rum festival, because I've seen it, I've lived it. It's a wonderful experience, and I encourage everybody who's interested in coming to Barbados, please come to Barbados. We not only have the warmth of the people, Barbadians as we refer to them, some people say Bajans, right? We also have, like I said, community-based tourism. We also have an opportunity for our wonderful beaches, and we have the Food and Rum Festival and the picturesque island of Barbados. So I would encourage everybody out there to come to Barbados. You wouldn't be disappointed.
Minister, thank you so much, and congratulations on all you've achieved at WTTC and also contributed as well to the sector.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.